Regular board meeting of the Board of Trustees to order. The time is 6:04 and the date is March 26, 2024. First item.
Item number 8, Pledge of Allegiance.
And we do have some students out here. If we could have them come and join us to say the Pledge of Allegiance, as well as Texas Pledge of Allegiance.
Ms. Barnes.
Present.
Ms. Borrego.
Present.
Ms. Mendoza.
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Present.
Mr. Cimental.
Here.
Mrs. Stroud.
Present.
Ms. Zuniga.
Present.
Item number E, CISD Vision and Mission Statements.
If it's okay, Mr. Cimental, the vision statement as well as Ms. Trout, the mission statement.
What do you want?
You start with the mission, and I enter with the vision.
Mission. We provide equitable opportunities to ensure our future-ready students are empowered to explore, learn, grow, and excel.
Vision. Lead today, impact tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Cimental and Mrs. Trout. That will take us to item 2.
Board honors. Recognition of Angel Rodriguez and Evelyn Desvaldo Lopez from Belvillo High School and Mateo Arellano from Northwest Verde College High School for being named finalists for the Gates Millennium Scholarship Program. Presenter Gustavo Ramirez.
Board President Rodriguez, members of the board, and Dr. Gladys, could you please join us in front of the dais to begin this presentation? Sorry. Good evening. Tonight, we gather to celebrate the remarkable achievements of some of the brightest minds in our district. It is with great pride that we honor both young scholars in the early stages of their already promising academic careers, as well as a trio of seniors about to close their high school journeys on an impressive high note. We began our program by recognizing 3 students who demonstrated ingenuity, perseverance, and a passion for discovery. These 3 students competed against young student scientists from throughout the district and emerged as the grand champions of the 2024 Canopillo ISD District Science Fair. Please help us recognize third grade grand champion Emilio Ortiz from Children's Elementary School. Fourth grade grand champion Bianca Carrillo from Cantillo Elementary School. And fifth grade grand champion Victoria Diaz from Damian Elementary.
When they called his name, you did something. What did you do? Do the dance. Do the dance. Congratulations. What was your son? What was the title?
Emilio, Bianca, and Victoria have a dedication to scientific inquiry, not only that inspires us today, but promises a brighter future filled with groundbreaking advancements and discoveries. As we applaud Emilio, Bianca, and Victoria for their outstanding achievements, let us also recognize the unwavering support and guidance provided by their teachers, families, and the entire Cantillo ISD community. It is through their encouragement and mentorship that these young scientists have been able to reach such remarkable heights. We celebrate not only the accomplishments of these three grand champions, but also the spirit of exploration and discovery that they embody. May their success inspire us all to pursue our dreams with passion and determination, knowing that with curiosity and hard work, anything is possible. Congratulations, Emilio, Bianca, and Victoria. Principals and parents.
No, principals are taking pictures.
We need parents who, like, taxes are due April 15th, and I so we need parents and staff of your
Principals,
school.
whoever wants to come.
You know, teachers helped you, principals.
Everyone trying to get it as a goal.
Congratulations.
And if you could all do a video dance, that'll work.
All right.
Again, congratulations, Emilio, Bianca, and Victoria, and congratulations to all student scientists. Next, we recognize remarkable seniors who have been selected as finalists for the prestigious Gates Scholarship. These three students have exemplified excellence in academics, leadership, and service. They have demonstrated a commitment to academic excellence that is truly commendable. Their dedication to their studies, their thirst for knowledge, and their pursuit of excellence have set them apart as scholars of the highest caliber. Please help us welcome from Cantillo High School, Evelyn Jesueldo Lopez. Also from Cantillo High School, Angel Rodriguez. And from Northwest Early College, Michael Ariana. Angel, Evelyn, and Michael have embraced the spirit of service, dedicating their time and talents to making a positive impact in their communities. Through their volunteer work, they have shown compassion, empathy, and a deep commitment to helping others. They have demonstrated that true leadership is not just about achieving personal success, but about lifting others and making the world a better place.
Can you explain what the Gates Millennium, what it does for these kids?
So it's basically, the Gates Millennium Scholarship is one of the most prestigious scholarships in the United States. They were finalists for that. I know they have to interview, and it provides significant funding for college and post-graduate.
Of their choice, right? Angel chose Boston University. The Red Sox fan over there.
You're gonna love Boston, it's awesome.
Someone chose UT Austin, go Horns. And you chose Texas Tech or UT Austin.
I just got ahead of my script, but thank you, Dr.
You're too slow.
Well, you're too fast, Doctor. It's worth noting that these students, a lot of them also were finalists and scholars in other programs. So it's been a stellar year in scholarships for Canantillo ISD.
Oh, their parents. Their parents.
Yes, and for parents, principals, and the Eagle.
Eagle.
Please come up and be recognized as well.
Tía, grandma.
Todos.
Venga, toda la familia. Come on. Yes. It's a privilege to graduate. Gracias a ellos.
We'll put her on your shoulder.
One, two, three.
As finalists for the Gates Scholarship, Angel, Evelyn, and Michael have already achieved a remarkable level of success, but their journey is far from over. As they continue on their path to higher education and beyond, I have no doubt that they will continue to inspire others, break down barriers, and make a lasting impact. Yes, and represent Canantillo ISD, definitely. To close the evening, I must admit to some bias. The next recognition is for a team of CISD employees near and dear to my heart, the Public Information Office. This group of dedicated public servants worked tirelessly to tell the story of Canantillo ISD, its students, and employees. Their work last month was recognized at the state level during the Texas School Public Relations Association's annual Star Awards Gala, where the small but mighty CISD team walked away with 10 Gold Star Awards, the highest designation given by the organization. The awards were for stories, press releases, photos, and graphics designed to showcase the work done by students and staff. Among the awarded projects were a feature story by communication specialist Cristina Rodriguez, that Cristina Rodriguez wrote for Valentine's Day titled Canantillo Cupid, in which she featured the love story of a couple who had been married for decades and whose love began in the hallways of CHS. Awards were also given to multimedia specialist Laura Rupia for her work on designing the logos for the CISD Montessori program and the Canantillo Campus podcast. Canantillo ISD walked away with a coveted Best in Category Award for Best in Show Award for writing the script for the great convocation. I'm proud to be a member of this team. Please help us welcome the CISD Public Information. Selfie to take on.
Gotta be a selfie. We got you.
Any parents?
Parents, grandparents. Did your mom come down?
My mom? No.
Your mom?
Laura, do you want us to use your camera?
I think that's her.
You guys know where to pose, you know, you guys know where to go.
We've done this a time or two.
Got it.
Mr. Rodriguez, members of the board, and Dr. Galaviz, this concludes board hours.
I'll take us to the next agenda.
Item number 3, open forum. Any person wishing to address the board during the period reserved for public comment at a board meeting must sign up to be heard in accordance with district policy BED local. Each participant will be limited to 3 minutes to make comments to the board. The board is not permitted to discuss or act upon any issues that are not posted on the agenda for tonight's meeting. For further information on these policies, contact the superintendent's administrative assistant. First speaker is Ms. Elvia Moreno in regards to the Goodwill Industries MOU.
Good evening, President Rodriguez, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Galaviz. As Director of Special Education, I'm here to advocate an item on the agenda for the approval to be partnered with Goodwill Industries. We are excited to be here in our audience. We do have Ms. Melinda Jordan, who is CEO for our Goodwill Industries. We do have Mr. Mark Mendoza, Director of Community Engagement and Business Development. We also have Ms. Monica Noels, who is Director of Mission Services. And of course, Ms. Marufo, who will be hosting the Goodwill Industries at her campus. This is awesome. And our one and only transition specialist, Brenda Matamoros, who spearheads this program. It is awesome. This partnership aims to provide opportunities for special education students at age 18 and plus to participate in vocational training and employment programs offered by Goodwill Industries. We are committed to the holistic development of our students. We recognize the importance of providing transition support for our students as they reach the age of 18 and prepare to enter adulthood. Goodwill Industries has a proven track record of offering tailored vocational training, employment services, and support for students with disabilities. Our 18-plus students enrolled at Canutillo High School have goals and objectives. We will have the opportunity to access specialized vocational training that is offered by Goodwill Industries. We are bringing real-life applications into Canutillo High School, creating pathways for employment opportunities and job training for our students within the framework of the district and Goodwill. We recommend the Board of Trustees approve this partnership, recognizing the potential to significantly impact the lives of our special education students as they prepare for life beyond our educational institution. We appreciate your time and consideration of this important initiative and look forward to your support. Thank you.
Next participant is Taylor Smith, speaking in regards or in favor of the 2024 fall.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, board members, and Dr. Galaviz. My name is Tyler Smith. I am the Student Council President at Garcia Elementary. I am here this afternoon to urge the voters in Canutillo ISD voting district to get out and vote yes for the 2 bond referendums on the ballot. As a 5th grade student at Garcia Elementary, I am very concerned about my future if these bonds are not approved. My fellow students and I are headed to middle school and high school, uncertain of what the future holds for us. If we make the decision to attend early college high school, we will have to attend in portables that are falling apart. Or will we be able to proudly walk the halls of a safe and secure building? If we attend Canutillo High School, will there be modern facilities available to prepare us for the jobs of the future? We are the future of this community, and we deserve the best that you give us. We cannot do it ourselves. We are just kids. We have to depend on grown-ups in our lives. The parents and grandparents, the tios and tias. I cannot stress enough the importance of this vote. Please vote yes for me Vote for our future, for every student in the district. Thank you for supporting us.
Next participant is Oscar Venegas, student from Garcia Elementary, in regards to the bond.
Hello everyone, my name is Ozzy Venegas, and I'm in 5th grade at Garcia Elementary. I want to talk to you about something really important, voting for a school bond. The school bond is like a big promise to help our school. It's money that will make our school better for all of us. When we vote for the school bond, we're saying yes to new books, computers, and fun things for recess. It means our classrooms can be safe and cozy, and our teachers can have what they need to teach us even better. I know sometimes grown-ups talk about big stuff like bonds, and it might sound a bit confusing. But here's the thing. When we vote for the bond, we're helping ourselves and our friends. We're saying we care about our school and want it to be the best it can be. So when it's time to vote, let's all say yes to the school bond. Let's make our school awesome together. Thank you.
Next participant is Christian Iglesias, in regards to the school bond.
Christian?
Hello everyone, my name is Christian Iglesias, and I'm here to talk to you about something really important that will help all of us, including me, have a better future. I'm in the student council, and I want to tell you why it's so important to vote yes for the school bond. You see, this bond will help our school a lot. It will give us better classrooms, new books, and cool technology to learn with. It will also make our school safer and more fun for all of us. As an 11-year-old student at Garcia, I care a lot about my education and my future. I want to have the best opportunities to learn and grow, and that's why this bond is so important to me. It's not just about today, it's about making sure we have a great school for many years to come. So please, when it's time to vote, remember how much it all means to all of us students. A yes vote for the school bond will make a big difference in our lives. It will help us get the education we deserve and set us up for success in the future. Thank you for listening, and please vote yes for the bond. It would mean the world to me and all my friends here at school. Thank you.
Next participant is Diego Iglesias, in regards to the bond.
Esteemed community members, my name is Diego Iglesias, and as a proud student of Northwest Early College High School, I stand before you today with a plea that comes from the heart of every student, teacher, and staff member in our school. We are a nationally ranked institution renowned for our academic excellence and achievements. Yet behind these accolades lies a stark reality. Our school is falling apart. Imagine studying in portables that are falling apart with leaking roofs, inadequate heating, and crumbling walls. This is the harsh reality that we have to face every day. While we strive for excellence in our studies, the conditions of our learning environment do not reflect the dedication and hard work of our students and teachers. Personally, in my years at the school, I've experienced things like broken AC units that don't get fixed for weeks and mold that has stopped us from learning in the classroom for 6 months. We are the pride of our city academically, but we bear the burden of having what seems to be the worst building conditions. It's a disheartening paradox that undermines the potential and limits opportunities of our students. But there is hope on the horizon, a chance for change. The upcoming school bond presents an opportunity to transform our learning environment and pave the way for future success. By voting yes for the bond, we can ensure the next wave of students has access to better facilities, resources, and opportunities. Just imagine what we could achieve with improved conditions. Air conditioning classrooms equipped with the latest technology and facilities that inspire and empower us to reach greater heights. Our success as a school is not just about the rankings or the accolades. It's about the impact we can make on the lives of students now and in the future. By investing in our school, we're investing in the potential of every student who walks through our doors. So I urge you, my fellow community members, to vote yes for the bond. Let's come together to ensure that the next generation of students surpasses our success by providing them with the environment they need to thrive. Thank you for your support, and let's build a brighter future for Northwest Philly College. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you.
Next participant is Ms. Stephanie Freak in regards to the bond.
Good evening. It's kind of weird being over here. I haven't been over here in a while. I used to be sitting there where you guys sit. Of course, I don't have to convince most of you to vote yes for the bond or the community, but I do come to you as a grandparent now, so it's very different for me now. My granddaughter is going to be moving here. This summer, eventually, we'll be attending Gunnefield. And even just this morning, Gunnefield Elementary had a really bad leak, and those are just signs that our buildings are falling apart, and they all need maintenance. So we can't ignore this anymore. It's been like this for a while, that we've needed funds to do this wall maintenance to all our buildings. Our community deserves better. Our kids deserve better. The teachers deserve better. As we sit here today, I sit here and I see all these students that were in front of me. They are producing with very too little to nothing, especially Northwest Early College kids. Being on the board, community board that we did for the bond, we saw so many of the schools that needed so much. I really did not know it was, I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. I urge the community to vote yes for both items on the ballot, and definitely encourage others to speak out, because if we don't get the word out, it's not going to happen. We have to get the word out in the community. I do have a question. Of course, I do know that Ms. Barnes cannot address me, but I would like to know from her why she chose, and now is ignoring me, but she chose to vote no and not to put this item on the ballot. And her kids do not attend here, which is her choice. She doesn't, my understanding, it's allegation, I'm not sure if it is, but that she doesn't even pay taxes in our district. So at the same time, I want to know, what is the purpose for the no? Because I'm born and raised here, my family's been here since the 1820s, and my heart's here in the community, whether when I sat there or when I stand here before you. So if you don't have a vested interest in our community to improve our schools, then why are you here? I leave with, I had this written, but I feel like I needed to speak from the heart, and it happens to me often that I have a lot written and then it just comes out. But everybody that's here today, please get the word out. We have to vote yes for our future of our kids and our community. If we don't, I'm scared as to what the future holds for us. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I just want to remember that we cannot be interacting with the public or clapping. Thank you so much. Can we do that now?
No, I mean, we're not supposed to interact if there is clapping.
But can we clap?
If you don't want to clap, and
No,
if
no,
you
no,
want
no.
me to silence
I mean, there's some things that I would like to clap. I mean, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next participant, Mary Venegas, Aaron for the bond.
Okay, those of you that know me that I like to talk, but I don't like to public speak, so there's a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of our community, as a parent with a child in our district, I stand before you today to advocate for the promotion of a school bond that is not just about bricks and mortar, but it's about investing in our children's future. Having experienced both private and public schooling, I understand the value and impact of education on a deeply personal level. My journey as a parent navigating the educational landscape has been one filled with challenges and choices. At one point, I chose private schooling for my child, believing it would provide the best opportunities for academic success. However, I soon realized that while private schools offer advantages, they are not accessible to all families and do not always guarantee excellence. In my own educational journey, I encountered setbacks due to lack of resources and support in private schools. I understand the importance of ensuring that every child, regardless of their background, has access to quality education that equips them with the tools they need to succeed in an increasingly competitive world. Our district is filled with dedicated educators, half of them who hold master's degrees, demonstrating their commitment to excellence in teaching. However, they need the resources to create optimal learning environments where every child can thrive. This is where the school bond comes into play. By investing in our schools, we are investing in our children. Improved facilities, updated technology, and expanded resources will enable our educators to provide a higher quality of education. We will ensure that our children have access to safe and modern learning environments that inspire creativity, critical thinking, and innovation. But this isn't just about buildings and technology. It's about closing the opportunity gap and ensuring that every child has a chance to reach their full potential. It's about creating a level playing field where success is determined by hard work and determination, not by zip code or social economic status. As a parent who has witnessed firsthand the difference that a quality education can make, I urge you to support the school bond. Let's come together as a community to invest in our children's future, because when we invest in them, we invest in the future leaders, innovators, and problem solvers of tomorrow. Thank you.
Next speaker is our student advisor, Paris Costello, regarding the CISD school bond.
Esteemed parents, community members, and fellow students, my name is Paris Costello. As a senior at Northwest Early College High School, I stand before you with a deep sense of pride in our school's academic achievements and an unwavering commitment to securing a brighter future for all of us. Our school has earned the prestigious honor of being recognized as a Blue Ribbon School by the U.S. Department of Education, a testament to the dedication and hard work of our students, teachers, and staff. Despite our academic excellence, there's an urgent issue that cannot be overlooked: the deplorable condition of our school's facilities. Imagine trying to focus on your studies when the classroom you're in has holes in the floors and walls, when the very environment meant to nurture your academic growth is crumbling around you. This is the reality that many of us face every day. Yet, despite these challenges, we continue to excel academically, surpassing expectations and earning accolades on a national level. But imagine the heights we could reach with facilities that match our academic prowess. A school building that inspires and supports our aspirations. This bond is not just about repairing our school, it's about investing in our future. It's about ensuring that the next generation of students has access to the resources and facilities they need to thrive. By passing this bond, we can transform our school into a place where learning knows no bounds, a place where students can pursue their dreams without the hindrance of dilapidated buildings and inadequate resources. So to the parents and community members, I ask for your support in this endeavor. Together, let's build a brighter future for all of us. Thank you.
That concludes all the participants for tonight's meeting. That gets us to item number 4, special presentation. Item 4A, 2022-2023 District Annual Report, Board Report, presented by you, Jessica Harrison.
I know there's might be some people here for a consent agenda. I was going to ask my board if I could move the consent agenda.
I'm good with that.
The other question that I had is also, is there anybody wanting to pull an item from consent? No. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I just moved the agenda as presented.
Okay. So I have a motion.
I'll second.
A second by Ms. Mendoza. At this time, I'll ask, I know there have been some comments. Any comments?
Mr. Chair, yes, I would like to make a comment, and I would like to congratulate the persons of Goodwill. We have that item here in the agenda. I did call personally to the superintendent, and it's something that really good that you guys are doing for the kids with special education. My heart is always laid over there with special education. Everyone knows about that. And I think this is a very good opportunity for students. As always, we are moving forward, Canopy is moving forward, our school district is moving forward, our teachers are doing the best, and overall that department that really needs our support. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Trout, and I believe we have, I'll go with Ms. Borrego and then Ms. Mendoza.
I also would like to say thank you to Goodwill. It's good to see you all here. I have the honor of working with them and seeing the great work they do with students across our city, and it is such a touching and beautiful experience to see all that they do. So thank you for being a part of the Canopillo community. Thank you for being a part of us here, and I know you're going to do great things with our kids. I could already see them flourishing. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Ms. Mendoza.
I too would like to echo the sentiments of my colleagues. In addition, I would like to congratulate Ms. Moreno for her hard work and bringing this to the forefront. It's been a long time in coming, and Ms. Moreno, I just want to thank you for all the hard work that you do in your department. Thank you.
Just going on that, we appreciate the work. I actually saw Mark, a familiar face, and others. I was in between trying to address an item, so I was unable before we started the board meeting, but thank you all for joining us and looking forward for this next chapter and building the capacity of our kids, especially our special needs students. So thank you. With that, we can take a vote.
Ms. Barnes?
Yes.
Ms. Borrego?
Yes.
Ms. Mendoza?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Cimental?
Yes.
Mrs. Trout?
Yes.
Mrs. Zuniga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
So this is, Board President, this is in the realm of special ed. Trying to do legal, expand, but the Special Olympics is April 6th. We have the SAT.
Yes, sir.
So if any board members would like to help us on that Saturday, it's a great event, so get you a t-shirt, it's not too late. So, what time is it to start?
At 8?
8 a.m.
Kids have to be there by 10.
Which campus?
Is that
Sir.
back?
Socorro.
Socorro.
The,
Socorro, is it?
yes. Want to come for a couple hours?
It's the SAC, the Student Activities Complex. You can't miss it on Route 375. It's a big old football field out there.
I can send an email and Adrian can forward. Perfect.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So that will take us to the agenda item of the special presentation of District Annual Board Report by Ms. Harrison.
Hello, good evening, President Rodriguez, board members, Dr. Galaviz. I'll give Adrian a second, I want to go faster than him. All right, so I'm here tonight to present you with the 22-23 District Annual Report. Next slide, please. This report contains 7 sections, and what I'm presenting to you tonight is a brief overview of each of those sections. Then, if you as the board or the public is interested in viewing the complete reports with all of the details, you can visit our district website. We have a district accountability department, and on that website you will be able to see all of the content that is presented tonight after our wonderful PAO makes it go live tomorrow. Next slide. All right. Section 1. We are going to go over the TAPER report. As all of you probably know, due to the pending litigation involving 2023 accountability ratings, we do not have a letter grade rating this year, nor do we have any distinction designations or a special education determination status. The initial release does not include these components, but we're going to look at the data instead. All right. Up on the screen, you'll see the district academic performance summary, and this is for all grade levels in the 4 main subject areas: English language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies. As you can see, we are surpassing the region and state in English language arts, math, science, and social studies at the approaches and meets performance levels. Our students are doing fantastic, as well as our teachers. Next slide, please.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Is this the correct?
Yes. I believe you're in presenter view. Should just be the one.
Yeah, this is not allowing me to bring it out. Let me try it again. It's not allowing me to present on the main screen.
Okay. Is it okay? Can you see it like that? I know it makes it a little bit hard to see the numbers because it's got the 2 pages there. You have a copy? Perfect. All right.
And we have bionic eyes.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So, this next page is looking at our end of course exam performance. And of course, this includes our students at both high schools, Northwest and Canutillo, as well as our middle school students who take end of course exams in 7th and 8th grade. Those are our accelerated testers. We have performed again above the state, passing rate in Algebra 1, English 1, and U.S. History. Our Algebra 1 program leads the region and the state in meeting and mastering grade level as well. This performance is on top of a newly redesigned assessment that brought many challenges across the state. Some districts saw dips in performance, and we maintained a steady average, and we maintained our strength in all of these areas. Next slide. This next page reveals the performance of our bilingual students, our ESL students, those that are currently identified as emergent bilingual. We look at their performance in reading language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies. These numbers represent the collective performance of all of those students across the district in those 4 subject areas, all grade levels combined. Next slide. When we look at academic performance, we also look at annual school growth. We continue to see steady growth when we look at how our students perform from one grade level to the next. We see success in academic growth from year to year, surpassing the region and state in math. The second part of this slide is referring to students who become a part of House Bill 1416 services. House Bill 1416 sets out to provide acceleration services for students who are unsuccessful on their STAR assessment in hopes to close any learning gaps or address any difficulties that those students have, so that ideally the next year when they take the higher grade level assessment, they are more successful. When we look at all of our students who received House Bill 1416 services, in all grades for RLA, we saw 37% of them passing the next assessment. In math, 47% of them were successful on the next assessment. And when we look at all grades, both subjects, 42% of them were successful on the next test.
For clarification, these are the kids who had not passed.
Right.
And they did pass. Okay, so
right.
Because when people look at that number, I think 37%, that's nothing. But that's actually a pretty decent number, because these are kids who had repeatedly failed and are getting that accelerated instruction, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. We have a very robust program through our CNI department that supports the work of House Bill 1416. The next page, it looks at our participation rates. So we remain strong, having often 100% participation. Sometimes there are students who are ill or cannot participate in our STAR assessment. We remain strong at 99% assessment participation, with a small 1% of students who might be absent, which is actually minimal. The bottom of this chart shows you our accelerated testers, and these are our students that take an EOC in middle school. Most of them, it's for mathematics. They take mathematics, they take Algebra 1 EOC in middle school. So that means that once they hit high school, in order to meet accountability requirements, they have to participate in taking an ACT or an SAT. And we have 97% of our accelerated testers that do complete that assessment and follow through with that commitment to their learning when they get to high school. All right, the next page is our district graduation profile. Just a reminder that when we look at graduation profiles, these are actually the 2022 graduates, and those were the students, the 21-22 graduates. We had 450, and you can see how it breaks down on that page according to students that graduated on the foundational high school program. We have the bulk of our students who are graduating at the high school program, the DLA, the Distinguished Level of Achievement. So 396 out of our 450 graduated at the Distinguished level. Next slide, please. These are our district longitudinal graduation rates. So that looks at that looks at our students who, after years, they were maybe not successful, and how our graduation rate changes over the years, after 4, 5, and 6 years of separation. Next slide. This next slide is our CCMR profile. When we look at CCMR across the district, and so that includes students from Northwest and Canutillo High School, 68.9% of our students earned at least one CCMR point. The area that we have relative strength in is meeting TSI criteria, and that includes students who take TSIA 2 in ELAR and math, students who take ACT and score college readiness, obtain college readiness scores, and students that take SAT and obtain college readiness scores. At both of our high schools, I know great effort is met to provide students with multiple opportunities to take those tests, usually through TSIA 2 boot camps that are held during intersession, after school programs that provide them with support, and then of course those opportunities to test. Additionally, both of our high schools offer school day SATs, school day ACTs, and making it even more accessible to our students so that they don't have to travel to another location on a Saturday to take that assessment. Tomorrow we are actually doing the ACT at Canutillo High School. When we look at our other areas, of course, we see our dual credit students. We are very strong in offering dual credit courses, not only at Northwest Early College, where the students also receive their associate degree, but also at Canutillo High School, so the students can meet that criteria. We look at industry-based certifications through our CTE department, and we are holding strong at 44% of our graduates are earning one of those CTE-based certifications. Next slide, please. And the final component of TAPER is looking at our TIA, Teacher Incentive Allotment. Canutillo is one of only 4 districts in this region that have a fully approved TIA designation system. As of last year, you can see that we had 29 recognized teachers, 33 exemplary teachers, and then the number of master teachers was masked because it was a number lower than 5. I can tell you that we have a very robust TIA system, and just last month in February we got notification of a whole new crop of TIA designated teachers. At this time, Canutillo has 100 TIA designated teachers, definitely the highest number in this region. We're very proud of them. And we know that that comes from, you know, just great support at the campuses, the work of our TIA leads here in the district, and ensuring that what we're doing is making those the access to designation possible for all of our teachers. Next slide, please. Section 2 is the PEAMS financial reporting. This is our 22-23 actual financial data. The per student instruction expenditure was at $6,804 for a standard student. Students who belong to a special population often receive additional services, but our average for the basic, the general ed student is $6,804. It's very hard to see all of those little numbers, but if you do visit the district annual report website, you can see those individual reports for campuses, and you can dive deeper into the district financial report. Thank you. Section 3 is our accreditation status. Our 2022 first rating was A. It is superior achievement, and we are accredited. This is not to be confused with the accountability letter grade that we receive. This is something that comes out of our financial ratings and some of our academic accountability, but it is through the first system. Next slide, please. District performance objectives. We had 5 district performance objectives, and we met objectives in most of those areas. Any objective that we did not meet, you can see there that we either continued it or determined to expand and enhance it and make changes in order to hopefully meet that district goal this year. Detailed information for the campus goals that is aligned to the district goals is again on that district website. Next slide, please. When we look at our section 5, this is our report on violent or criminal incidents on campuses. So we did have 5 incidents on one campus, and the other 2 campuses that are listed there, they have less than 5, so that data is masked. But we're looking at less than a full % of instances where we have extreme discipline. And I'll open this for questions as soon as we get through the main content. So most of our, we had the 3 at the 3 schools. It was Canutillo High School, Canutillo Middle, and Alderete Middle. And you can see that information on what the offenses were listed there in the report. Next section. Section 6 looks at our enrollment in post-secondary institutions. So when we look at our class of 2021 graduates, we had 426. This pie chart looks at how many students stayed within Texas. We had 111 students that moved on from Canutillo and stayed within the Texas University school system. We had 3 who went to either an independent college or university. We had 63 who continued with a 2-year university, such as EPCC. And then we have 32 that are considered non-trackable. And what that means is those 32 students went to a college or university outside of the state of Texas. And so it's harder to keep track of that. And then we have 217 students who were considered not found. And what that can mean is they either entered the workforce, they may have taken time off after high school before entering college or university, but we remain strong with our students who are continuing their education once they leave our schools. Next slide. For House Bill 3, we have early literacy and CCMR board adopted goals. You can see there our early literacy goal was in our 3rd grade students' performance in reading and our 3rd grade students' performance in math. For the 22-23 school year, we met 54% of that goal for reading and 55% in math. Our CCMR goal was to increase the number of students who are receiving a CCMR point through accountability and taper. So this year, of course, for 22-23, we were at 68.9%, and our goal is to be at 88% by 2027. Next page, please. So at this time, that represents the brief presentation, but at this time, I can accept any questions from the board, any additional information, any way I can help.
I do have a question. On page number 15, section 158PR 2223 CCMR. Mrs. Harrison, help me to understand from CISD in compared to Region 19,
We have the 68.9 and Region 19 is 75.2, so we met the standards. And it goes on in 46.9 to 61, Region 19.3. And again, 51.8 compared to Region 19, 63.7. And CISD 42.7 less, and Region 19 52.5, and again CISD 36.9, and Region 19 44.6.
So CCMR is based very much on individual ability of students. And so I know that all of our schools offer multiple opportunities for students to meet that criteria. And remember, to get a CCMR point, they have to meet it in one of those categories. And so you might have some students that meet it in multiples, but we only get 1 point for those students.
And what's,
I have the floor.
No, I just wanted to share something with you about that.
Sure. Just let me finish with my question. Thank you, appreciate it.
What is your question?
The question is in career military ready. We have the 36.7, and this one in Region 19 they have 31. So we increased this time, correct? Or
right. And so one thing to note, that military enlistment data was not collected for that accountability year. So we're specifically looking at our CTE certifications, our industry-based certifications, as well as how our special education students earned their what type of diploma they earned, and whether or not they completed their IEP and workforce readiness goals.
So when we didn't have enough kids, did they join the forces, the armed forces?
We weren't tracking it that year. So that is returning, but we won't see it in accountability again until next year.
Till next year.
Yes. And that was something between the state of Texas and the armed forces and them trying to figure out how to track that information and what information would be released. So now we have a system where when we're notified or when students provide us with documentation, we have a way to submit that so that we can get credit for that military enlistment.
On page 17, we're talking about...
She had a response to that question.
Just really quickly, just, and I think it's for the audience and everybody to understand, CCMR is a complicated beast. It's not something just by enrolling in the military. It's strands. Well, it's also strands on how kids, what programs of study they're taking and how they do it. The military did have a change, but I think that the most important thing to understand is that school districts figure out by what they offer students, and sometimes we may not offer that. One school district, the YISD, has really figured it out. They're the ones bumping up the Region 19. They figured out how to do what the course offerings are. They're giving a course in their high schools, and I don't know if we're doing that here yet. I think we all caught on what Isleta was doing, and it was a good thing to help the kids be successful on the TSI, and it's a course, but they actually get credit for passing that course. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct.
And those way to understand that. Yeah.
Yes, and those students are captured in there. Sorry, I'm trying to go back to that page. Those students are captured in that TSI criteria, because you're right, it is a very complicated system, and there are many components. And then in order to meet that criteria, they have to meet it in ELAR as well as math to earn that full point. And so it's a combination of college readiness testing, college readiness courses, CTE courses. It can be very involved, so thank you.
Yes. Your next question?
Yeah, my next question is, for example, on page number 20, that we were talking about the reported violent criminal incidents in campuses. Is Northwest Early College here as well?
They did not have any incidents, and that's why they are not on that page. There were no incidents that fell into that category or criteria.
And on page number 19, and I think this question goes to PIO. My question is on page 19 that we're talking about, and the goal number 3 and goal number 5, we're talking about create attendance campaign with PIO. My question is, what are we doing to increase the attendance? And what are we doing to keep and attract the students here in our school district?
Ms. Trout, thanks for the question. We've actually started a campaign called Everyday Count and we partner with Dr. Reyes' team to make sure that we're encouraging students to come to school, creating incentives for them to come. I know that Dr. Kearney has also worked with principals to try and come up with alternatives. We know that it's a struggle right now to get students to come to school. Post-pandemic, we've seen an increase in parents willing to keep their kids home. I think they got used to the fact that they could keep them home because they felt they were sick, and we're trying to get them out of that rut there. We of course want them to stay home if they're sick, but we also need them in school. So we're creating campaigns to do that, and we're trying to come up with alternative ways. This is not a Cantillo problem only. I'm in communication with my counterparts in other school districts that are also seeing declines in attendance rates, and we're all trying to come up with ways to find something that works to get parents to recognize the importance of sending their kids to school every day.
So hopefully they feel attracted, and they bring the kids back here because we really need that attendance.
Well, it's really impacting our budget as well.
Definitely, so that's the reason. And also the website, have we already been redesigned it and updated?
Yes, we are actually in the middle of, we've been having meetings this week. We're very excited about the new look. We should be launching pretty soon with something that's going to be really, really impressive and really to the caliber of Cantillo, I think.
So we can do the better. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Rose.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Mrs. Chess.
Mrs.
Did you have any other questions?
I think for my part, this is it. Thank you, Mrs. Harrison.
I believe Ms. Borrego, and did you have questions of Woman Point?
Mine's a quick one. On page 11 on school progress annual growth, we're showing this year's annual growth from last year to this year, correct?
Correct.
Do you think that we can get, even in our Thursday packet or in the future, I'm just curious, and I know you can't compare apples to apples because it's changed, it's not an apples to apples, but you that does this kind of work can.
Yes.
I'd like to see the difference from last year, because as we're closing the gaps, how that's looking. I'm just curious.
Okay. Absolutely, I can provide that to Mr. Cerros for your next packet.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Go ahead, Ms. Barnes.
So to piggyback on that, I'm actually on section 1 for end of course exams that covered algebra, biology, English 1, English 2. Mine doesn't have a page number, I printed it at home, but it's section 1, I think it's the third
The end of course exam page.
Yeah, but it's end of course exams with the specific subjects at the top. So I'm noticing in particular, I know our masters is usually, lower than, of course, the approaches and meets, and that's average or normal across the board. But I did notice, I guess, how much lower we are here, even in the region, compared to the state in biology. Do you know why that is, or what played into that?
So part of what played into that is that, as I said before, we had the redesigned assessment, and then TE also rescaled all of the scoring. And so given the complexity of the new assessment, we're now in year 3 of our online testing, we saw drops across the state in many subjects. And so some regions hurt more in one subject as opposed to the other. And that was one dip that we saw. And so it'll be good to compare it to this year and see how we addressed that.
Okay, so we are looking at that area in particular.
Yes,
ma'am. Okay, perfect. And then my next question has to do with the TSI as well. I'm kind of looping back to that. So I'm actually glad this is on here tonight because I was contacted by a couple parents that were concerned about this particular topic because their child is being turned away for TSI testing, and I've heard this numerous times saying that it's full. What are we doing to make sure that all of our students have an opportunity to test and that they're not turned away? Because I know a lot of colleges are requiring this.
And is this at CHS or at North
CHS?
Ms. Marujo, would you like to address that question?
Gosh, I wish our sessions were always full, but they're not. What often happens is we may have some issues with testing tickets, and certainly we offer multiple sessions for our kiddos. This week, Thursday, we have EPCC and UTEP coming for Operation College Bound. And so here's an opportunity to get enrolled. Well, they can't do it without TSI. So it's super important our seniors are ready to go with that. They've tested, but not only that, you know, you can test and you're not passing, so then what's the next step? Our focus is definitely the boot camps. And you'll see that right now we are focused on our seniors, and that's why, because we're looking at university enrollment. We are trickling down. We have two options. We're trying to phase out the idea of waiting until you're a senior. We want to be proactive. That's the key. So I'm chasing the idea. We're waiting for them to be a senior until something happens, and at the same time planning to get them ready sooner. And so there's some definite plans in there. April 18th, our sophomores are taking TSI. And that's because we want to go ahead and get them ready for our dual credit class if they're interested, and obviously that's the CMR component. And a number of our juniors are going to wait this week because they're testing ACT, and the idea is that they're going to take that and do well. So there's a lot of moving parts, but I'm very sorry to hear that they were turned away, and I would love to remedy that, but we have sessions coming up on the 18th, and we will take them in, anything that we can do.
I will relay them to you.
Yes,
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Of course.
And I think I had, the last one was in regard to the violent and criminal incidents. So in regard to especially the 5 incidents, what is that in comparison to past incidents? So are we improving?
We are improving. Yes, we did have more incidents last year when we did the district annual report, and they were across more campuses.
Okay.
And so we are making improvements, and I think that's due to the hard work of Dr. Reyes' department in implementing, strategies to, prevent incidents from escalating to that level.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your question.
And then just keep in mind that that code is in cooperation with law enforcement. And so because we have really worked hard to work with law enforcement, I think that cooperation and that collaboration has really helped us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Second.
Anyone else?
Ms. Mendoza.
I only have one question. I know that in the past we used to pay for ACT and SATs. Do we still do that?
Yes, ma'am. When we give any of those assessments, TSA-2, ACT, SAT, when those are given at school, which we are doing the school day assessments, those are paid for the students.
And I know many years ago I had kids in high school, and they never got home with the information when the testing dates are. I assume you come up with a better system of notifying parents of those particular dates for their children to be able to participate.
Yes, we do. We work very hard. Those dates are often included in our district assessment calendar that comes out of the accountability department, so that we are not only aligned across the district, but also, and those are posted usually by the end of the July every year, so parents can see that on the website. And then each campus has a dedicated parent liaison that sends out notices. We have, since now email is so wonderful, right? So we actually direct email students, we direct email parents, notifying them of opportunities that are coming up. And then we also promote it through teachers. So yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. As we know, during these current times, especially, no comment on TA or the legislator. Our staff continues to outshine and do great work, so thank you for that. With that, I think that'll take us to the next item.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, and visit the website if you have any curiosities. Yes, sir.
I did have curiosity, and that's why I went over to talk to Mr. Blanco, but legally he's told me we can't discuss, so I would like to get an update to see what that might be in regards to the current situation with TA.
Yes, yes. I will provide an update as soon as I have one.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
That leads to item number 5, Board of Trustees business. 5A, March budget update presentation, presenter Ms. Christie Gould.
And just real quick, I know a lot of the presentation is what we've seen in the past, so I don't know if you want to have questions in regards to the presentation. But my bigger concern and what I want to do is set a date for us to look at, one, balancing the budget, and then two, balancing the budget with having to deal with maintenance costs. So I think one of the things is looking for solution and also trying to get the buy-in from our community. I know that they've done, I believe it was can you help me in regards to, they did a thought exchange, but I think it might have to be a little bit more in detail of what programs, as well as staffing situations we might want to ask the community. So with that, I'll ask if there's questions, one, and if not, any ideas, solutions that we as board members can come up with, if that's okay with the board.
I have a couple comments and some questions, and I would like Ms. Pekarski to come up here too as our CFO, please.
Ms. Pulley, it's always nice to see.
Hi, Ms. Pulley. So a couple things, I too, and I didn't know that Mr. Rodriguez was going to talk about. I don't want to spend hours on a presentation I've already seen with history and that it's happening in the state. We know that. We know that. I want a presentation that says what are we doing, how are we doing that, and what are our next steps. So there's a couple things, and I don't know who would like to take notes on this, that I would like to see happening here. Hold on, I had my notes. Let me find them. I apologize. Yeah, I wrote it in a separate paper. There it is. There's my separate paper. So a couple things, because I don't want to hear the history and the Texas legislature and things that we're constantly doing. We've seen this presentation. When I read it at home, I was like, this is the same thing. I want to see what are possible solutions. I want 3, 4, 5 slides that say, this is what we're doing at the district percentages. So here's some examples that I would like to see. It's function 199, right? General budget. I would like to see possibly, and I'm just throwing out a number out there, that in functions 11 through 36, everybody at the district and the campus, they cut 10% from all their budgets. That's an example. And then functions 41 to 99, 15%, because that's the operational side, from the district and the campus. That's big. Everybody has to tighten their belt during this time. Also, I want to know, have we reached out to vendors to negotiate lower prices? When are we bringing those? Because I know right now's the time, correct? Correct? Right now's the time where we're starting to renew contracts?
Yes, it depends on when the contract renewal is.
Yeah, so I would like to see those contracts 2 months before, and are we reaching out to negotiate lower prices? And then I would also like to know what we're doing to review the need for a position when somebody leaves our department, whether it's the department, whether it's a school, etc. Do we really see that? And then of course I want to look at that we really take a hard look at travel and what we're doing for that. But for sure I want to see that 199 that everybody, and it needs to start at the top at the district level.
Good evening, Martha Pekarski, Chief Business Officer.
Oh, okay, I apologize.
Let me just make sure I get this straight. On 199, where you're talking about the cuts, you're wanting us to cut the department budgets from last year, well, from this current year to next year?
Yes. Yeah.
I give them.
And you decide, but we're not making any progress.
But the problem is, and this is a conversation I've had with them, I don't think we need to cut budgets that we're having to deal with because we're having unintended consequences. We've increased the cost to ride a bus for activities, but yet we continue to decrease a budget for whether it's art or sports And how is that? That doesn't make sense, because we're increasing the cost of it, but yet we're decreasing the budget, and yet we're still having to do that. So I think what we're doing is sometimes we say cut budgets, but yet we have unintended consequences. I think we need to look at how we could fund certain budgets that have a true impact on students, and figure out how we could cut those budgets out, and cut, not those budgets, but cut somewhere out. And the saddest thing is it mainly deals with human capital, right?
Yeah.
And so what I'm wanting to see is us to make sure that we fund budgets that are going to be having a direct impact with students, and finding ways where we can do that, as well as figuring out how we could. I know Dr. Galavis has talked about reorganization. That's something that we need to look at and be brought to the board. But my thought is, let's have this conversation so that way staff knows what we're looking at as a board, so that way when we have the next budget presentation, and I'm hoping to have a full day in April, probably the first 2 weeks, depending what the schedule is. I'm probably think of that now and then decide when that's going to be.
And I understand what you're saying, and let me maybe reiterate this. I think if everybody, I'm not going to tell you where to cut from. Like, if I'm the Department of Academics, which I am, I look at where I could cut 10%, where it's going to hurt me less as a department, but I'm contributing to the overall cutback that we're doing. I would like to see what that would look like, and I think the same with the campus. Every single department, whether it's you didn't even realize you had 2 copiers and you're spending thousands of dollars on the second one, and you really need the first one, and that's a silly example, but not so silly. It happens all the time because there's excess. So I do want to see, I would like to see, not where it affects students. The instructional piece is important, but that we look at where we could come back starting here at the district level in those functions in 199.
And I just wanted to get clarification that what you're asking for, it doesn't matter whether it's operations or personnel. You're just looking to see the cut.
Correct. So it's between functions. So what I would like to see is in 199 functions 11 through 36, that we look at about 10%. It's really not that much, but it makes a big difference. And then functions 41 through 99, 15%. Because we go round and round and round, and we sit here and we have ideas, you guys have ideas, and it's nothing. Oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Now we got to put our boots on the ground, and we got to say, okay, this is what we're doing. I want to see a presentation where this is what we're doing. And it doesn't, if that doesn't work for you all, I would like you to look at it, but how are you going to cut? And are you negotiating with vendors? Because I think that vendors in tech that deal with Texas, they know that everybody's in a hard situation right now. So I bet you they're willing to negotiate. That's it.
And going back, I do think we need to say the story so that way it's consistent. So, but we need to minimize it to the front, and then go to develop the previous budget presentation, and then we talked about the budget, then looking at operations and personnel as part of that conversation. So, did you have any?
I do.
Go ahead, Ms. Strong.
I do have a question on page number 30. I would like to see what is including an unnecessary spending. I would like to see a little list. What is this unnecessary spending?
We don't have your page numbers. Could you tell us what's the title?
Okay, actions taken by administration. It says frozen unnecessary spending for 2023, 2024. Yes, I do understand certain ones, but I would like to see the report, or I would like to see what are the exactly unnecessary spending, what administration considered unnecessary spending, and how much is going to save this. And now the other question is, what is the current number of personnel cuts already up to today, including teachers, nurses, or other positions as well? I would like to see a report, and how much are we been saving, cutting those positions as well.
For this year or for next year's budget?
Will be for the next year. Thank you. And also, like, we already been cutting personnel, right? How many we did already? And, how many teachers we already sacrificed for this? Nurses? And which other positions as well? Thank you. Chief.
I have just one question. And this is for, Mr. Rodriguez. But do you have a set date in April when we're going to go over the requests that have been made by the board to finance?
Do you think, the 16th would work?
That works for me. 5:30?
How about the 17th?
What day of the week is it?
I can't talk the 18th.
What about the 11th?
Why don't we ask Adrian to put together a few dates and then pull and figure out from there? Would that be okay?
Yeah, well, we're just trying to, that way we have a set.
We're all here because I think
Yeah.
it's, what about the board? Start looking at
I can't.
School board. I have a school board meeting.
No,
We just don't have a leader.
I can't on the 8th.
16th.
Might have to.
The 24th.
To the 23rd, which is our board meeting.
We both can have on the board.
You come early, 5 o'clock.
Unless we do that.
Can you come early on that day? So she could come early, I could come out early on the 23rd before our board meeting and do a bunch of workshops. I do too. I agree. What was wrong with the 9th? Oh, no, not the 9th.
What about the 10th?
I'm gonna tell.
Well,
Yeah, we can start the 16th at 5. Can you do the 16th early?
That's perfect. No. I'd rather not cover. Nobody could do the 4th? Or somebody is busy on the 4th?
I can do the 4th.
yeah.
I'm good the 4th.
Next Thursday.
What about you guys?
We're currently doing needs assessments,
No, I
the
think
week
it's
of
gonna
the
be
1st. So we would have more data if it was after the first week of April.
That's fine, Mother. I'll figure it out. That's fine. Don't worry about it. That's fine.
And we can start at 5 o'clock on the 16th, at least start early. Can you start early at 5 o'clock on the 16th?
Well, nobody, I mean, if it's just me and you, that really works. Can we do it, 4? Well, I mean, you're gonna.
I work. You just said that it's him and her that only work. I know. Come on.
So let's figure out, we'll, let's aim for that, let's try to do it early. Yeah, let's try to do it, maybe, we'll figure it out.
Earlier in the.
Let's aim towards the 16th.
But he gets out early on the 16th and we could do it early on the 16th.
Yeah, okay. Did you have anything else that you?
So, it kind of just has to do with setting up these meetings. I had, messaged Dr. Galvin about it because these budget meetings are crucial and we need to start really getting into the nitty gritty and figuring out what are we doing and what plans do we have, plan A, B, C, X, Y, Z, so that we have a plan on the board and we're not just sitting here twiddling our thumbs.
Ms. Barnes, on the 16th?
Figure it out.
Oh, okay, on the 16th.
We're aiming towards the 16th, we just need to figure out the time.
Okay.
I can pass it out.
Is there a board meeting already?
The 28th.
We're aiming for May 16th. Is there any other questions? I mean, is there any other, part of just making sure that we're all prepared, and we've talked about in the past, the balanced budget, looking at balancing the budget, and then looking at having to deal with maintenance costs. And then, what I forgot what I was asking. Gustavo, in regards to the thought exchange, can you just give us an update? Because I think what I would like to see is, Dr. G, in regards to the thought exchange, to expand that into a more concrete survey. Okay, go ahead and explain the thought exchange.
So we closed the thought exchange survey that we put out to the community. The thought exchange asked, as kind of CISD moves into the planning stages of its 24-25 fiscal year budget, and noting that the district is facing a $7.6 million deficit, what cost-saving measures should the Board of Trustees and Administration consider to help them balance the budget? We had about 612 participants in the budget that shared 267 thoughts. And people, if you're familiar with thought exchange, they rate thoughts so that common ideas come up and are shared. So we had about 15,228 ratings. Simply put, the community believes that the district should tighten its budget and take a look into unnecessary spending in travel. And there's a strong opposition to the closure of Davenport, and also that we need to take a look at cost-saving measures that come with investment in solar panels and other issues related to energy savings. So it was pretty broad, and I'm gonna delve. We closed it today. I'm gonna delve into those thoughts and provide to you in a report the more detailed things that came in there. But we're gonna take this data, share it with Ms. Foley and the superintendent as well, so that they can be taken into consideration when it comes to budget planning as well.
I'm looking at, is there a way to go back and go more in deep in regards to, I believe the presentation we had after the last month had a program, you know, what the community would rank on programming, and what the community would rank on certain positions at campuses, and the central office.
We can do one where we offer them choices. We wanted to be broad in this one just to gather input. We can now go back and offer them choices on you know, if you're asking them, pick one of these issues that you would like us to address, either, you know, do we switch over from, and I don't want to target anyone, but from RNs to LVNs, or from librarians to library techs, something like that. Is that what you mean?
Well, that and programming, right?
Oh, and you know, that should be cut, you know.
I think one area should be programming. I would hope not to cut anything, but I just think we need to have this discussion with our community and continue that discussion.
Yeah.
I know people, when commenting on some of this, is like, why do that? Is because, I mean, we could easily say, cut this program, cut that, and cut, and then, you know, we're balanced. But I think it's a continued dialogue that we need to have with the.
Yeah,
I think one would be like programs, and then maybe you look at high school. Well, you know, is it nurses? Is it, you know, all the stuff that's not, you know, is it librarians, nurses? In elementary schools, they have not theater, but they have music, right? Stuff like that. What is it that we see, our community sees as important?
And I think to help in that narrative, it will also help you. Maybe if there's a program. That we attach the cost to it, so they're realistic in what that cost is. I think a lot of people have a misconception of what a program costs, and they think that if we cut a certain program, for example, that is going to help us balance it, that's going to balance the budget just by that one action, when in reality it takes a lot more than that.
So what I would like to add to my request that I would like to see at the presentation on the 16th, this plus I would like to see what are we doing to, what do we do to check for duplication of services, duplication of programs. Maybe we have 2 reading programs that do the exact same thing, or maybe we have a reading program that's not successful. There's a lot that we could look at there, and do we have a system in place? And if not, what system will we get in place where we look at true data and see if it's working? But I would like to see what we're doing. We might already be doing something to check for duplication of services. Because many times there's a lot of money laying there in that duplication of services where we have, you know, 2 programs that do the exact same thing. So I would like to see that as well on the presentation.
If there's nothing else, I think, is there any questions from Bill?
I have a quick question, and it goes back to the budget that was presented, general fund projections. So I just want to make sure I understand. Right now we have the board election costs at $70,000, but we approved tonight the actual cost of those, correct? So then that will be adjusted. Okay. And then I also see on here the student TASB travel of $100,000. When is that going to be discussed or brought forward?
You could make comments now, or you could wait for the 16th.
Okay. So these will be specific things we'll talk about on the 16th? Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Anything else? That will take us to the next item.
Next item, item number 7, meeting adjournment. Time is 7:36 p.m.
Anybody object? None. The meeting is adjourned.
Hey,
Got